Today's programming is brought to you by NCTV45 and NC Radio 450, Newcastle's community television station.
It's Red Hurricane basketball.
Today's program furnished by funding from Gallows Italian Villa, Wilmington Road, Newcastle. Today's programming provided by Gino's Grocery, Deli, Lottery. Convenient and on your way. Gino's in Mahoningtown. Today's programming was provided from funding from the Crane Room Grill and Banquet Center, 3009 Wilmington Road. A special thanks to the Crane Room for their participation. Special thanks to Butts, Flowers, Gifts, and More in downtown Newcastle for their support and funding of this program. Butts Flowers, downtown Newcastle. Programming provided through funding from Daimio and Olson Law Group, with offices in Elwood City and in Newcastle in the Washington Center. Daimio and Olson Law Group. Funding provided by Main Street Clothiers and Tailors, Washington Street, Newcastle.
NCTV45, The Train, anytime on your time.
Here we are at the start of the contest. Newcastle warming up in white. It will be Newcastle versus Montour tonight at Ambridge. And we're going to move to action in the first quarter. yards on Montour.
Hello and welcome to that Lawrence County Sports Show as we cover the Canes and their road to the Pete. After braving some pretty usual yet unusual weather, the Canes game on Tuesday was canceled, and they were scheduled to play Montour at Ambridge. The game got moved to Wednesday, and in the highlights you have just seen, the Canes came up with a 78-39 victory over a quality Montour team. Now, Montour came out scoring early and held a brief lead, and then the Canes, with some tremendous defense and fine shooting, were able to overtake the Montour Spartans. And we congratulate Montour on an absolutely fantastic season, and we wish them well. Now, after this brief break, we'll talk about the upcoming game with West Allegheny. Special thanks to Little Johnny's 2 downtown, who provided funding for this program. Funding for this program provided by Washington Center Physical Therapy, Norm A. Gabriel, MSPT, ATC owner. This program furnished by Sporting Goods, 23 East Washington Street, Newcastle. Call 724-658-2535. Today's programming was provided from funding
For all the numbers in life, talk to State Farm agent Michael Joseph in Newcastle. State Farm is there.
Today's programming was provided from funding from this program was provided through funding from Cedars Restaurant in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. A special thanks to Cedars, featuring Middle Eastern, Italian, and American cuisine. Now, after the starting introductions, the Canes came out kind of sluggish. They missed a lot of shots inside the paint and in and around those little 5-4 footers, a few three-pointers, and the early lead belonged to West Allegheny as the Indians, very athletic, moved up and down the court, and the Canes' pressure continued throughout that first period, but had, I don't want to say no effect or little effect, but it was something that would be building throughout the game. Now, let's take a look at
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing tonight's starting lineups. First, for the number 8 seeded West Allegheny Indians, a record of 12-10. Jared Lenny is first, the team's fourth.
Moving to further action in the first.
Defense! 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 Defense!
A special thanks to the YMCA for caring about the Lawrence County community and providing funding for this program. Thanks to Arlington Market, 726 Arlington Avenue, Newcastle, PA. Groceries, lunch meat, fresh cut meats, produce. It's Arlington Market, who provided funding for this program. This program, furnished by a grant from Keystone Specialty, Newcastle's party store on Mill Street in Newcastle.
Score is 17-9 starting the second. And Canes seemed to be in control. We had a little clock problem.
As you can see, the Canes jumped out to a 17-9 lead, and they were on their way to a 35-23 halftime lead. Now, that pressure that we had talked about and that Canes defense had begun to take its initial toll on the West Day Indians, creating turnovers and creating a transition game that the Canes love, as they've been this season able to run a great half-court offense and been able to do well in the transition. Now, after this little break and timeout, we'll talk about the second half.
There's more than meets the eye. You gotta give them a Newcastle a try. The right small town for living. Look around.
Thanks to Arlington Market, 726 Arlington Avenue, Newcastle, PA. Groceries, lunch meat, fresh cut meats, produce. It's Arlington Market, who provided funding for this program. Today's program was furnished by a grant from the Beanery Depot and Deli, featuring coffee, made-to-order subs, and snacks. The Beanery Depot and Deli in Mahoningtown. Today's program furnished by funding from Bill's Bake Shop, where smiles are everywhere.
Hey, at the game, 35-23. Canes ahead and looking good. The pressure's starting to take hold as the West Day Indians turn the ball over. Canes not shooting well early, but picking up the pace, half-court press, giving the Indians fits. We'll update you in the second half.
Newcastle and white. Bring the ball down.
That's our 20-40 mark is over the second. Team's first of the half.
Now, as you just saw, the Canes jumped out to a 46-28 lead in that third period, which proved to be a pivotal period because by the end of the period, West Day had run out of timeouts. There was 5 minutes and 32 seconds left when we stopped the clip. And understand this, that in that next 5 minutes and 32 seconds, the Canes would jump out to a 58-36 lead. And at that point, there was no looking back. Now, we're going to take a timeout, and we'll be right back. This program, furnished by a grant from Keystone Specialty, Newcastle's party store on Mill Street in Newcastle. Today's program, furnished by funding from Bill's Bake Shop, where smiles are everywhere. Mr. Pizza provided a grant for this program. Mr. Pizza, East Washington Street. Today's program was paid for by a grant from Pegley's Pasta and More, East Washington Street in Newcastle. Today's programming was provided through funding from DiCaprio Cleaners. DiCaprio Cleaners in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. A special thanks to Paul D. Weller Hardware in Mahoningtown for providing funding for this program. Today's programming furnished by a grant from Chilala and Carney Florist on Mill Street in Newcastle. This program furnished by a grant from Ferrone Brothers, 2 locations, Newcastle on Mill Street and Wilmington Road in Newcastle. Today's programming was provided from funding
For all the neighbors in life, talk to State Farm agent Michael Joseph in Newcastle. State Farm is there.
Mr. Pizza provided a grant for this program. Mr. Pizza, East Washington Street. Today's programming provided by Geno's Grocery, Deli, Lottery. Convenient and on your way. Geno's in Mahoningtown. Funding for this program provided by Washington Center Physical Therapy, Norm A. Gabriel, MSPT, ATC owner.
Newcastle 62, West Allegheny 41, 6:09 in the fourth period left.
Fouls on 14, Kenny White. His third. To 7th. Michael from Leda at the line. 1 plus the bonus.
Two.
the floor. It's a full timeout. Newcastle at 5:53.
Now, as the game continued on in the fourth quarter, some things became very obvious. The Canes were in control. West Allegheny was out of timeouts, and their shots started to fall short. And there's a lot of pressure when you go in and you watch a game that was moving that quickly. That's due to happen. At 5:53, the Canes led 64-41, and the subs reported the score was 70-43, as both sides tried to get as many students into the game as possible, and that was a great thing. With 2 minutes left, it was 74-45, and the Canes were on their way to a 78-47 victory. And hats off to West A on a tremendous season. We wish them best of luck as they will be in the PIA playoffs, and the Canes will continue down the road. So thanks for tuning in to the Lawrence County Sports Show. We hope you enjoyed these highlights, and keep watching NCTV 45. We're glad to have you around. Thanks, and remember, be a good sport. Today's programming was provided from funding from this program furnished by Sporting Goods, 23 East Washington Street, Newcastle. Call 724-658-2535. Today's programming was provided from funding
For all the numbers in life, talk to State Farm agent Michael Joseph in Newcastle. State Farm is there.
This program was provided through funding from Cedars Restaurant in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. A special thanks to Cedars, featuring Middle Eastern, Italian, and American cuisine. Today's programming was provided from funding
For all the numbers in life, talk to State Farm agent Michael Joseph in Newcastle. State Farm is there.
This program furnished by the MAD Unit, Mobile Auto Detailing. See Michael Sad at themadunit.com.
There's more than meets the eye. You gotta give them a Newcastle a try. The right small town for living. Look around.
Today's programming is brought to you by NCTV 45 and NC Radio 450, Newcastle's community television station.